Welcome everyone, and welcome to the Health Bar. This week, again, I'm really sorry, but it's another pre-recorded one. I actually am gonna be slightly away on the Sunday, but also here at the same time. A bit of a random one, but we have awesome guest today, and I'm super excited. We've talked to her a lot about kind of coming on the show, and also she has watched nearly every episode on her live stream as well, which has been amazing, and to see her reactions. And so anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we're super stoked to have Demi on today. As always, as we always say, mental health, my mental health to start off with. This week I've struggled a lot, loads actually, and I was away last week seeing family, which was great, and then we came back at the weekend, and weekend was fine, and then all of a sudden I think Monday hit me really hard that we were kind of back. I know it sounds really weird, but yeah, not near my family, so that was hard. And then other things were happening, like the little one wasn't sleeping because again teething really bad, like insane. And so yeah, Monday, Tuesday was really difficult to me, massive. I was literally took time off. I didn't kind of come on the computer, didn't kind of speak to anyone. It's really nice. A few kind of people like reached out and said, "Look, are you all right?" Because normally on the computer at one point during the day. So yeah, that was nice. And then I actually had a stream on Wednesday and had a great chat with the community just over streaming. It was kind of nice. And yeah, so I'm feeling a lot better and more positive today, but it kind of shows you that it can kind of just creep up and hit everyone at random times. So, but again, it's that thing, I kind of know when it comes, and I kind of try and get my way out of it, and the missus helps loads with that, and we went for a lovely walk and along the beach and kind of chilled out. And so, yes, so rough week, but we are at a positive stage at the moment, which is nice. We're going to go on to a bit of news. News is, this is not about mental health, but it is about gaming. And someone brought this up the other week, and it really interested me. So I don't know if anyone knows, especially here in the UK, we have like the Commonwealth Games. Now, the Commonwealth Games this year, for the first time ever, are including esports, which is amazing. So they are doing Dota 2, which is a MOBA, eFootball, I'm guessing it's going to be FIFA, and Rocket League. It's really interesting because obviously for the esports side, all of us, we're kind of really excited about it, but there's actually people that are quite against it. And there's a wicked news report on BBC, and I'll tag it at the bottom of kind of the YouTube video, and also in the comments when we actually do this on Sunday. But there's a really interesting thing I just want to kind of read out really quick. And it says here, despite esports growth in the recent past, the activity still receives criticism. So former swimmer Sharon Davis, now she won 2 gold medals at the 1978 Commonwealth Games, said, "I would love to have seen the Commonwealth Games introduce things like parkour, BMX or skateboarding, which was a success at the Olympics. I just believe we should try to evolve the Commonwealth Games with physical activity sports that engage young people, not ones that require people to sit on their backsides and use their 2 fingers and their thumb," which is crazy. And I kind of, I'm torn, because I'm like an ex BMXer, and I snowboard, and I lived out in the Alps for a long time. So snowboarding, skiing, BMXing, skateboarding is a massive passion to me, and I've been I've been to Barcelona to watch it. I've been to Norway to watch skateboarding as well. So for me, it's a big thing. So it is interesting that there is 2 things. And I kind of agree on both. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and the development of that. But again, I'm really happy that esports is actually taking a big step forward into the mainstream. Again, which is even, for me, very positive. But I do understand the kind of side that she goes on, because, again, I think people do need to get out into the physical world at some point as well. And it shouldn't just be about that. But it is a good stepping stone. Cool. So with that, we are, as I say, really excited to introduce Demi. I've known Demi for a little while. Met her through Fullest. It seems like I meet everyone through Fullest, which is really bizarre. And we've played Rainbow Six together quite a lot. And yeah, it's just exciting to kind of have her on. So yes, welcome, Demi.
Hello.
How
How's it
are
going?
you? Yeah, good. You?
Yes, I'm very well. Yeah, it's been a crazy evening, but otherwise all good. Yeah.
Good, good, good. I'm super stoked that you could come on, and I know it's a bit last minute, and asking you, and
Oh,
then
it's
you were
fine.
like, "Yes, I can do it tonight." I was like, oh, "Okay, amazing, let's go."
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. Yeah, I was
um,
nervous, but I know I could do it.
there's nothing to be nervous, honestly. Like as you've seen all the others, like it is just a chat, and yeah, I'm just excited because for me as well, like I love the fact that you've kind of grabbed what I've been doing and you started kind of like showing it on your streams and for your community. And then again, what I've always said, I love the fact that you pause it and then you talk about your experiences, like which are very similar to what obviously other people are going through, or even if it's not you, it's someone in your stream or your community. And that's kind of what I've always wanted. I wanted that to make people talk, and
Yeah.
that's my main thing. I want, and even if it's not talk to me, if it's to talk to someone else, or get help or whatever it is. And yeah, so I thank you a lot for that. I really do.
It's okay. I when I first saw you like put like the first podcast up and like because you tagged it
Hmm.
in the Discord and I was like, holy moly, this is so cool. I was like, this makes so much sense because people are not talking about it. They're
Yeah,
not talking about mental health within gaming because it's such a big thing, but no one's talking about it
yeah,
and like bring it up to the surface.
hundred
And I
percent.
was like, yeah, people need to be more like aware
Hmm.
because yeah, everyone does have some sort of mental health and that's why they play games. And
Yes.
it is like it's releases stress or whatever is going on in their life is an escape route
Yeah.
for most people.
Yeah, 100%. And
So
this is actually again why I wanted to, yes, this is our outlet, and this is the gamers. This is as gamers. This is our outlet, and mental health, and
yeah,
then it is hard for other people that don't have this escapism. But we are quite lucky. But then also there is a lot of pitfalls that come with it as well, as we all kind of all know.
yes, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, introduce yourself. So I've kind of just gone off and gone, hey, yeah, let's go. But yeah, if you
Let's go.
kind of introduce yourself and obviously who you are, what you do, and yeah.
Yeah, my name is Demiroar. Everyone calls me Demi. It's easier. I am a streamer on Twitch. I've been on and off streaming for gosh, I think maybe since I was like 18. I'm 25 now, and I've just been on and off streaming. I think my first ever streaming was on Twitch, and I think I streamed Minecraft.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
And that was like, yeah. So I used to stream Minecraft, and then a few years later on, became a Rainbow Six Siege streamer. Streamed that,
Yeah.
and then I just my whole streaming career on Twitch has been on off, on off, on off. Yeah, it hasn't been like a solid stable one. But it's one of the things that I do like to come back to.
Yeah.
And this time I'm very, very happy coming back. Like when you're playing just one single game, it's you can get very bored of it and very tired of it, and it's just like yeah, it doesn't make you want to stream.
Yeah.
And then people who do come and watch the stream only watch you because you play Siege,
Yeah.
and then if you try and do something else, they're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you
Yes.
playing a different game? I'm not going to watch you anymore.
Yep.
And so you just get fed up and you're like, okay, well, what's the point of me ever streaming?
Yeah.
And then you have a break. But yeah, uh, it was so, and then I started streaming again. But this time I was streaming VR chat. I was very inspired by people on the YouTubes.
Yep.
doing their funny avatars, like VR chat
Yep.
avatars. There's someone called Lolathon who I watched, and I was inspired. I was like, I want to stream VR chat, and I want a VR headset. Um, so I started streaming that beginning of last year. Yeah. Um, started streaming that like proper like nearly every evening after work, have dinner, and then jump right onto the VR headset and
Wow.
start streaming VR chat
Yeah.
till like maybe midnight, 1 o'clock.
Wow.
I had literally no life. I was on that game like it was like my second life. I'm not even joking. Like, and so yeah, doing the streaming, and then I did YouTube as well.
Wow.
So it yeah, it was. I did that for quite a few months, and then the mental health started creeping in. Because I would wake up in the morning and I'd edit my videos. I'd edit my stream from the night before,
Yep.
try to get clips out of it, and then make shorts, and then eventually at the end of the week try and make a whole video to release for the next week. And then obviously streaming in the evenings.
Wow.
I didn't have that downtime because I was working as well, like my
Yeah.
normal job, and there was like no time, like no downtime. At first, I thought, "Oh, this is great! I love VR chat, and I'm having so much fun. I'm meeting all of these friends,
Yep.
and I even met like some big streamers as well, and like hanged out with them. And I was like,
Awesome.
"Oh my god, I'm one of the cool kids!" And there's like this 25-year-old with these like 18-year-olds. It's like I'm so cool. Yeah, and then it started creeping in a bit, and it's hard to explain. It was just like this feeling of where you need to try and make some sort of content, and you're like, when there's no one chatting in the chat, and it just really disheartens you.
Yeah.
And you're like, am I not good enough? Like, am I not funny? Like, what do I need to do to make people come in?
Yeah.
And it really drained on me. And then like I said, and like we talked about, obviously people who go onto these games have some sort of mental health issues.
Yeah.
And may not be considerate of other people's feelings.
Yes.
There was a certain person, certain like people
Mhm.
that sometimes made me uncomfortable. Like they would pick on me.
Yeah.
But at the time, like obviously I was one of those people who I do have banter.
Yeah, of course.
Like no lie, I have banter. I'm British. Come on,
Yeah.
like I have
we do,
banter
yep.
with people. Yeah, and but then there's like a certain point when it gets too much,
Yeah, of
and like
course.
these people keep saying these words all the time, or keep like basically saying that you're not good enough, you're a bit dumb and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it really like put me down because I was thinking like, am I actually like stupid? Like, am I dumb? Like, like it was like brainwashing me. I was like thinking like, am I just not good enough? Like,
Yeah.
am I really thick, or like, can I not think for myself? And I was really, really bringing myself down. And there was like one point where I was streaming,
Yeah.
and I just like everyone was getting on top of me, and I just burst into tears. And I was just like, I'm really sorry, guys. I need to end the stream.
Oh.
And yeah, it was just awful. I was like, oh my god, like why is this game, why is this people making me feel like this?
Yeah.
And it's because I was spending so much time on there, like,
Yeah.
and I, when I finished work, I literally had dinner and then jumped on. Like, I had no time to relax. I was surrounded by toxic people, unfortunately. Like, there's some people with mental health, and sometimes how they come across can be quite negative.
Yep.
And they may not consider other people's feelings.
Yep, for sure.
And there's other people who have mental health who, do talk about it, and are more open about it, and
yeah, of course,
they understand basically how you feel.
Yeah.
So that they have empathy, basically.
I think there's a way, isn't there? Sometimes I think you can kind of. Me personally, I think I can tell. Like, not always, don't get me wrong, but I think you get, as you say, that empathy. And again, because I've been through it, and I know other people that have been through it, and it's that thing. I think, I hope, I know you get to that stage where you're like, okay, this is obviously affecting someone, or this is, I'm only joking, let's talk about, are you okay? Where instead there's then people, as you've obviously mentioned, that will just keep going and going and going and going because they just haven't got a clue, or they don't care, or whichever way round,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just got too much, and I stopped streaming, and I stopped the YouTube. I stopped everything. I went on VR chat only like now and then, and then I just said, right, I'm not gonna make this as my job because I actually have fun on there.
Yeah.
I do. But I don't want this to be my job. Like, I want it to be an escape route for me to, after I've had a busy day with work, I want to go on there and chill with my friends. I don't want it to be like, I need to suck content out of you. Like, let's, it's not everyone's going to be in the mood for that.
Yeah,
and like
100%.
yourself might not be in the mood for that.
Yeah.
It's, it can be very tiring, especially because it's very sociable.
Yeah, it does seem it. Like I've watched it a few times and seen a few people do it, and it does look like really good fun. And it's one of them things that I would, I think I would like to do at some point, because again, it kind of fascinates me as well, because I've never done it. It fascinates me of kind of how people get lost in it, and I'm like, oh, that's actually really exciting that you can lose yourself in it, and it's a different world, and that really kind of interests me. But I think I would be massively like you. Like, I think I would want to do it just for fun and hang out with the people that I want to hang out with. And as you say, I think it's really hard because, again, it's a similar thing, but not. My nephews watch YouTube all the time, and it's always Minecraft and Roblox and all that kind of stuff. These streamers that they watch, oh my god, like, they are the most energetic, like, kids you've ever seen in your whole entire life. And I'm like, you must break at some point. There's a breaking point, and I don't ever want it to happen to someone because it's horrible, but it's going to have to happen. These people are too, I don't know, they've got an act going or something, or I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but I'm like, these guys are just, it's just crazy. Like, you have to know
to have that energy, like, oh my god, like,
exactly.
They must crash at the end of the day. Like,
definitely.
I definitely did. I crashed at the end of the day. Like, once I'm finished stream, I'm like, oh god, I'm tired now. I'm mentally drained.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. I've socialized way too much. So like, I couldn't do it. Like, I'm very, like, streaming now, I myself, and I have my hyper moments. Oh my god, like, if I have some coffee or something, even Pepsi Max, I'm like, I'm on one, or a gin and tonic, I'm on one. So I have that hyper mode, and I just crash. I'm like, oh, okay, bye,
done,
guys. Yeah.
No, I think that's it though, and also as well, I think it looks like obviously you've started to get a kind of a different schedule as well, because I know you were explaining it the other day. You were starting to do mornings, then you might do evenings, but I've always been very, very adamant. For me personally, I need a schedule, because if I don't, I'll go over my allotted time, or if I've got, do you know what I mean? Like, I will go over, and so I'm like, I stream 4 hours. After 4 hours, I'm done. I'm straight off. Computer is turned off. I'm downstairs, family, and then later on, I might come up and do some editing, whatever, if I've got time, and etc. But and I feel people, and it's not me trying to say this is what people should do, but I feel people kind of need that, and like, it seems, again, like yourself, and we talked about it, because I before moving to Scotland, I was working in retail, and I worked around my retail, so I was very similar to what you were doing recently, and I would get up early and I would stream before I go to work, because my missus is working, so there's no point in me just laying in and doing nothing. So I would get up when she got up, showered, changed everything, stream, then make my lunch and go to work, and then that was it. And that was kind of really good, and it wasn't every day. And so it seems like you're kind of in a a better schedule, shall we say? Even though it's going to change maybe and tonight, or it has
Yeah,
changed, but yeah.
it definitely has changed. Yeah. I did enjoy the morning streams, I must admit. It was nice just chilling.
Yeah.
And but it was quite quiet.
Yes. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
was very lucky to have my good friend Hannah.
Yeah.
Bless her. I was like,
I love that though.
please come and chill with me in the morning. She's like, yeah, that's fine. She's an early bird, so I was just like, yes, please come and chill with me in the streams.
Yeah.
It was a good schedule for me, and like obviously, yeah, I did stream and then went to work. But I, with me, I'm like trying to do it with the same with Piranha.
Yeah.
Like my other half, and like he said, like, look, I think I'm gonna do one morning stream and then like the evening stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I'd rather do this evening streams because it means that we both are streaming at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm not like by myself, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm actually
Yeah, of
doing
course.
something.
Yeah.
I'm streaming and I'm interacting with people. And then when he finishes, I finish. And
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
And I like the thing is that's great though, and as a streaming couple, I think that's ace because again it'd be that. I think it would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? I suppose if like he was streaming and you were sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
For you, that's got to be really, really hard. I mean, I know for me it would be super difficult. And
Yeah,
so
it
if
is.
so if you do it at the same time, you're both not missing out on each other's companies because you're busy, and then you get each other's companies at the end, which, yeah, I think works. In my opinion, I think works great.
Yeah, we got to work around each other basically, and we got to think about ourselves and about our relationship as well
Yeah, of
as
course.
a couple. Having that time. So when I finish work, we cook together and then we
Nice.
chill. We watch some Star Trek
Yeah.
for an hour, and then at 9 o'clock we're like, okay, well we're gonna go, both gonna go and stream now, and then
Perfect.
it's nice. We prefer it that way. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's better for me to do evenings. Don't get me wrong, mornings were great, but I'm definitely enjoying the more evening streams because there's a lot of my friends on.
I agree with that. I agree. I
Yeah.
loved my morning stuff when I did it in the mornings. I was doing it when I first started though. I was on Mixer, so I had a total different, a different kind of I don't know, call it a community, I suppose, or and so I would do mornings then, but also do some evenings. And again, I was similar to you. I did Minecraft, I did Fortnite, then I did Tarkov, which is totally weird going from Minecraft, Fortnite to Tarkov. It's a bit bizarre. So mine was a kind of a bit all over the place. So I had a real weird community. So if I was in the morning, I still had okay. Night, I found it really hard to start off with because it seems that everyone streams at night. So if I streamed in the morning, it seemed like I had more of a bit of a niche because people would pop in. But yeah, I like the evenings, even though I don't get to stream that much in the evenings, but I still get to kind of like jump on and obviously play with yourself and obviously Darth and the other guys as well. And so it's nice. There's more people on to kind of play whatever games you want to play, I think, in the evenings.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm one of those people. I don't like to be alone. Basically, I can't play games by myself. I don't like playing games by myself because it mentally triggers me, and I'm like, no, I don't like to play games by myself. I need to talk to people. I need to play with people. I can't be by myself. I need some sort of distractions. So that's why I definitely love doing the evening streams because I have people there to talk to, and then my friends are online. So it's much nicer.
I agree. It's kind of a similar thing that like Katie was saying on one of the podcasts before, and she was saying I'm very similar, like sitting there and kind of doing nothing. Like I have to have, and it sounds really bad, I have to have my phone in my hand, I have to have TikTok on, I have to have the TV on in the background even though I'm not watching it, or like it's weird. And the missus will kind of either go to bed early or something like that, and I don't want to go to bed early, so they'll come on the computer. Even though there's nothing on the computer that I would probably do, or but then I try and catch people's streams and jump in, and because again it's it's not well, I don't know, it probably is loneliness, isn't it, I suppose, in my head, but it's
Yeah.
it's the way I deal with it, and I think a lot of people were similar to me and to us that do a very similar thing,
It was quite funny when you and Katie were actually talking about that, because I even like I said, I did watch it on my stream.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, sometimes you don't want to do nothing, but you need to do something. So it's like you say, go on your phone, go on your TikTok. Like last Sunday, I was just like, Hannah was like, what are you gonna do today? And like, you gonna stream? I'm like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, right, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna come out, I'm staying away from the PC for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I went on my Switch, sat on the sofa for a good solid hour playing Stardew Valley.
Nice.
Highly recommend that game.
100%.
And just sat there doing nothing. And then spontaneously I was like, right, I'm gonna cook now. It's like,
yeah.
what is wrong with me? Like, literally, I'm like, I don't want to do nothing. I want to be lazy all day. I don't want to do absolutely nothing. But I can't, because I'm not one of those people, because I actually need to do something, but just kind of do it in a lazy way.
Yes.
Like, I need to chill on my phone and watch TikToks for a good solid hour, or play on my Switch, or do some spontaneous cleaning. It's just like, oh, yeah, it's weird.
It's honestly, it's so bizarre, but I think the more and more people I actually talk to, the more and more people do that, and it's really strange. And I think it is obviously a mental health kind of thing, and obviously like ADHD and all that, obviously down the road, which I don't think I've got, but there's kind of traits that
Same
I think
here.
there's traits that I think I probably do have, and it's really weird. And it kind of interested me when Katie was saying that she she's self-diagnosed. And and there was someone else I was chatting to as well, and they said they've only just been diagnosed, and I think they're like in their late 20s, and I'm like, it's but yes, it is. I think there's a lot of the mental health kind of side, I think, and that loneliness where it's like, right, I want to do nothing, and 100% I want to sit there and do nothing, but also as well, when I sit there and do nothing, or be on my phone or do something, and I actually had this chat on my stream the other night, and I hate myself for it. And I put myself down, because I'm like, I should be doing something else. I should be busy working, or I should be busy doing a video, or I should be, doing graphics. And I hate myself for it. And that's awful.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not okay. Like, with me, it's like, I need to clean my house. My house looks messy. Like, I feel dirty.
Yeah.
I feel like this house is dirty. Everything is dirty. I just, like, it's just weird. I'm like, I'm sitting here doing nothing. But then I have to think about it. And then I need to, like, I need some sort of, like, talk, like, from Jez. I'm like, I need to talk to you. And he's like, look, you've been working all week. You work full time.
Yeah.
And your 2 days off is Saturday and Sunday. And that is your chill time.
Yeah.
If you do nothing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're relaxing. I'm like, but I need to do something. I feel like I'm being useless. I need to be an adult. And it's just like, no. And he just says, go and sit on your computer, go and play your games, and just relax. I'm like, okay. I need that reassurance sometimes. Like, I need someone who's looking over me and is like, I'm seeing this, and it's like, yeah, no, you just relax, just sit down.
Do you know what though? Like, I think, and it's so good, and obviously I find it quite hard for people that obviously don't have the people like that. But like, it seems like I've spoke to most of the people that I've actually spoke to on the podcasts so far are people that actually do have other people. Even if it's not their other half or a really good friend or whoever, and that's brilliant. That's really, really good, because again, similar with me, like, my missus, she still doesn't really understand the whole gaming kind of thing. She doesn't get it. She's not a gamer at all, and we're very opposite, but that works amazingly. And but we still talk about it, and we literally, it's my outlet is chatting to her, and she reassures me and I reassure her, I hope sometimes. And but I do massively feel for the people that don't have that.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do without Jez, to be honest.
Hmm.
Like sometimes yeah, I'm very glad that I do have him in my life, but
Yeah,
I think I've also helped him out in his life. We've just really both helped each other through like the most difficult times in our
that's really
lives. Like,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've both
that's
been there for each other. So through thick and thin, no matter what.
that's
So
ace.
yeah,
So kind of going on then mental health side with obviously VR and things like that. When you kind of were going through that kind of toxic stage, what kind of, I suppose, mental health like symptoms and kind of what kind of really, the triggers you kind of had and how did you get out of it and that type of thing, I suppose, would be interesting to.
yes. I think it was like just kind of, well, I think like the break point was when like I started like crying on stream. Like it
Yeah,
was just like, oh God, like this is not
this
good.
is, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is not normal. And I think like even Jez picked it up. Like he was like, you're being really different, and he was just like, you're not really yourself. He was like, you're you seem sad basically,
Yeah,
and you seem exhausted all the time. And I was just like, I went for a walk with him, and I just said like, and I told him about all the stuff that these people have been saying to me,
yeah,
and I said, I've been questioning myself, I've been hating myself, and which I never, I had those thoughts before, but not as deeply as
yeah,
now,
of
like
course.
as
Yeah, yeah,
then.
yeah.
I was just bringing myself down. I was going down this spiral. I wasn't looking after myself. And like I said, I was streaming, and then like in the mornings I was, doing my YouTube editing and stuff, and I
Yeah,
had no time for myself. I wasn't really looking after myself.
yeah,
Like I wasn't eating correctly, and
yeah,
it was just stuff like that. I was just noticing I really wasn't looking after my health.
yeah,
Like my health was going down the drain. Like, I wasn't eating healthily, and
yeah,
I was just eating rubbish, and yeah, I just didn't I just knew I just wasn't right.
yeah,
Like there was just something not right. And so I just said to Jez, I was like, I need to stop streaming this game. I need to stop the YouTube. I said it's just too much for me. I said, I've got my work as well, my main job,
yeah,
and I'm exhausted from that. Like at the time it was very physical, and I said that, and then I'm coming home, and then I'm standing up and on my VR, and
yeah,
for like so many like hours, and yeah, I just said I'm tired. I was like, I really need to focus on myself. So completely stop the streaming, completely stop the YouTube editing,
yeah,
and I actually started waking up early and started doing exercising, started eating healthily,
yeah,
lost a bit of weight as well during that time. It was just nice to have just time to myself,
for
just
you.
thinking about myself and
Yeah,
mental health. Yeah, I really needed that
yeah,
just space. So yeah, I really focused on myself, lost some weight, and yeah, felt more better in myself. Didn't hang out with those people who were toxic to me.
yeah,
I told them how I felt, and they carried on doing it. So
yeah,
I was like, nope, I'm not hanging out with you anymore.
yeah,
Or if I do, I'm just gonna ignore you.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not gonna bother interacting with you.
Yeah,
Um, even though they were in the same friendship group as me, and then eventually they just went off and did their own thing.
yeah,
And then I was, then had stuck with a really good friendship group,
nice.
and then hanged out with them, you know, for most evenings, and then yeah, just started like, I think it was like probably, I think maybe it was like a month ago. I was like, I haven't been streaming and I kind of miss it. I just
Yeah,
miss that interaction with
yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah, for sure,
Like
100%. Yeah,
that's what I really like about streaming. I
yeah,
keep going back to it,
yeah,
and I'm like, but this time I want it to be about me, and I don't want it to be about one specific game,
yeah,
because I've done that in the past twice now, and it hasn't worked out for me. I streamed Rainbow Six Siege, and I streamed VR chat, and that's all I did.
yeah,
And this time, nah, it's just gonna be about me. It's gonna be like chilling, just chatting, playing variety games.
yeah,
I'm not gonna just stream one game and just be like very professional,
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not. I'm a very chilled out
yeah,
person, and I I'm really enjoying coming back to streaming now. I don't feel stress
That's good.
like I did before. I
That's
felt
so
like every
good.
time I wanted to stream, I was like, oh my god, I don't really want to, and so I'll delay it and I'll delay it, and then it just got to a point I was like, didn't stream at all. So, but
Yeah,
now I'm actually feel much comfortable and more in a better mindset.
that's
So
awesome.
more like healthy mind. So yeah.
That's do you know, it's quite funny because I was actually watching just before we actually started this. I was watching a streamer, and they've got big, kind of very quick. It seems at the moment, it seems like there's a lot of people that are, I don't know, just getting big really quick. And they were talking about it, and they said like, oh, their main game's Tarkov, and
Yeah.
and they were like, there's an event going on at the moment, and some people are really hating it, but they're like, if I play something else, I'll lose 75% of my viewership.
Yeah.
And then because this person is partnered, because this person, that is all they do. So again, it's their full-time job, it's their income, it's their rent, it's their food, it's everything. So again, if you lose that amount of viewership, then, and
Yeah.
I would hate that because getting to that stage where you think that that is your kind of rent is the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, worries me for me personally. And
Yeah.
again, that's why I like to play different things. Yes, I always would main Tarkov recently, but then Siege has been brilliant, and there's a few other games that I want to kind of start playing as well. But again, it's always trying to find times when everyone's on to play the same games, and but
True.
again, that's why we kind of started the Discord, the new Discord kind of community as well, and try and grow that, because we want to do like a community kind of game every month. So we'll have
Nice.
like people come together and go, right, this is, well, I know some people do like community movie nights and they'll watch movies and stuff like that. We kind of will do that at some point, I suppose. But it's, yeah, so I think it's actually really nice because I got a Steam key for Golf with Friends, literally sent the other day by one of the other guys, and he sent out a Steam key for
Nice.
everyone, like, of the mods, and was like, right, we're going to play this to start off with, and then if that works, then we'll get the community in, and it's like that. That's wicked, and we'll,
That's
you know,
amazing.
so loads of different games, and yeah, and I kind of, and I like the fact the same with yourself when you started playing Sims, and you know, you were playing Sims on stream, and then obviously doing the house. So if you haven't seen it, guys, you do need to go watch Demi, because like she goes and watches streams that have like, and it's about these multi-million, billion-pound
Love
mansion
it.
houses, and it's like, oh my god, like the fridge probably costs more than my whole house.
Literally, the guy as well. He's just amazing. I could listen to him all day long. Him and his like cameraman Mike are just great. We just yeah. House tour guy is amazing. We just call him House tour guy instead of his actual name. Me and Hana. But House tour guy is amazing. So I would highly recommend.
Yes, exactly. But then that's it, and I really enjoy watching your streams and other people like yourself, because I always see that you are doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like there's a load of things at the moment on social media, especially, I don't want to know, but TikTok and all that kind of stuff, where people are like, you know, you should only ever play these games at these specific times if you want to grow, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh my god, just shut up. All these poor kids that are just going to take your advice, and in my opinion, you're wrong. I know it's my opinion, but
out.
yeah, exactly.
Like, they're gonna get bored eventually, and it's just gonna. That's when mental health could possibly be triggered.
Yep, I think it can start creeping in. Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, it creeped in for me, and you know, and now I'm just like, for some people, I understand that this is like a full-time job for them.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm very privileged. I've got my normal job, my full-time job, and like I have my other half, and so we are able to pay for rent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And for other people, like, this is like something that they really want to do. This is something that's gonna pay their bills and, you know, food and stuff like that. And so like, they're gonna take that advice.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're like, I need my numbers to grow.
Yeah.
I need my subs to grow, and so they're gonna take that advice, and then they're just gonna get really drained. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna exhaust them, and then they're not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Streaming as much. So
Yeah. We said this the other night when we were playing. We all had a chat, and we were saying, I think it's that thing, isn't it? I always think that you should. I my family, especially my dad. My dad's very old school. He'll watch this and probably have a go at me for this. But he's very old school, and he worked in a job that he hated.
yeah,
It was amazing at his job, like really, really good. It was a designer, and he designed parts for cars and things like that, and worked, a few places over the world, and all that type of stuff. And very, very good, but he hated it. And he used to come home, and you'd be like, "How's your day?" And he was like, "Oh, it's horrible, boring." And I've kind of taken that, and I've probably taken it a bit too far. But I will only ever do something I enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, I'm like out. And
yeah,
I've been told that I'm unmanageable. I'm like really kind of in certain situations, people are like, "Oh my god, like you're just a nightmare because if you don't like something, you're just." And I'm just like, "Yeah, but it's a good thing, but also as well, it's quite bad."
yeah.
But I've got
Life
to a
is
stage.
too short.
Exactly that.
Literally. Like life is way too short. And if you don't enjoy a job,
Yeah.
there is so many other jobs out there, and
Yeah.
you just got to find the right one for you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's you shouldn't be sticking with a job that you
Yeah.
hate
Especially
and you're miserable.
obviously I understand why my dad did it, because they had nothing else that was, i.e. like when it was, back then, the career, that was your career, you couldn't change because there was any opportunity to change. You couldn't travel because there was no travel, where me, like when I was like 22 or whatever, I went and lived abroad,
Yeah.
for like 10 years or whatever it was. It was crazy, had the opportunities to do it, and had the opportunities
Yeah.
to change and do every random job in the whole entire world, Whereas, as I say, like my dad, he didn't have that. So again, I understand it, and the money was so good that we could go on holidays, and we had all that type of stuff, and it was great.
Yeah.
But it was hard because you see someone like that then come home and is not happy,
Yeah.
and that's what I kind of didn't want.
No, definitely not. It's not worth it. It's like I've always worked in retail.
Yeah.
But I did work in I worked in a care home.
Okay.
So mental health relating to that, basically, I worked in dementia care, and I freaking loved my job. I
Yeah.
loved that. I loved working in dementia care. It was so rewarding.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The
Yeah.
people, like, oh my god, they were amazing. They
Yeah.
were so funny. Like every day was a different day. Yeah, there was stress and stuff like that, but just some of the things that they would say and they would do, and like, oh, they were just like amazing, and they were so cute, and
I like.
I loved it. But
Yeah.
then there was complications with the job. The company was kind of going downhill,
Right.
and so I found another care home, and they had dementia care.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they said that they did, but they only had 2 patients with dementia care, and all the rest were like just needed basically just normal care. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Unfortunately, my great nan passed away during that time I was working there,
Yeah.
and so then my mental health got triggered, and I was like, oh gosh.
Bless, yeah.
And so every time I went into work, I had a panic attack.
Oh,
It was like,
jeez.
it was scary. It was
Yeah.
just like I had to. I was riding on my moped, and I had to keep. Like it was quite like about 45 minutes,
Right.
like to get to work, and
Yeah.
it was just like the whole building up
Oh,
whilst
jeez. Yeah.
driving to work, and yeah, so unfortunately I had to quit because I
Oh, that's really
couldn't go
hard.
into
Yeah.
work anymore. Yeah, it was just like, and then moving up here, I used to live in Plymouth for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
I moved up here, and so the only job that I could get was care,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh god, like, am I gonna go down this route again?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so behold, mental health got triggered, anxiety got triggered, panic attacks every time I went into work, and it just sucked.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need to go to the place where I've always been comfortable, and that is retail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm very happy where I am. Don't get me wrong, it's very stressful.
Yeah.
The other week was so stressful that I had a bit of a tipping point and started crying to my manager in the office. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, like this. And he was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But yeah, like regarding that, like sometimes, like, yeah, it sucks coming home because when I did work, I'd come home and I'd bring the workload with me, and I was like, I kept thinking about work, and it's just like, it's not good for you if it's like that. Like if you're bringing work home,
Yeah, for sure.
it's not a
100%.
career for you.
Yeah.
It's just like, so now working in retail, I come home, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have to think about it. I can just leave it and it's there, and I can come home and I can play my game.
Yeah.
And I can chill. Because beforehand, when my mental health was so strong like that, it was really hard to even think about concentrating and playing games because I just couldn't.
Yeah.
My mind was just so full of worry and stress and anxiety. I couldn't even play games, and it sucked because that's what I love doing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. And I know some people obviously play games to, release that.
Yeah.
But for me, I just physically and mentally couldn't play any of my games because it just was too much.
You saying that, it's actually really funny because when was it? Sunday night, Monday night? I can't remember what it was now. It was Sunday night, maybe Sunday night. And a few of the guys were on playing, and I was playing as well, and I played, I think, a couple of games with one of the guys, and they were going over to play a different game. I said, yeah, I'll come over in a minute. And then I sat there, and I was sat on the computer for probably about an hour and a half doing nothing. And I knew everything was building up, and I knew it was. And it's really weird you saying that, because it was that I was sitting there and I wanted to play to escape, but I didn't actually want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to either, and it's really weird because obviously I talk about my mental health a lot, but sometimes when I'm going through it, I don't want to talk to anyone about it, which is really weird. Like, but as soon as I got to a stage, and it was on yesterday. What's today? I'm losing my days now. Either yesterday or the day before, and I sat down and I spoke to my missus and said, right, I need to talk about it now, because she obviously knew I was having, she's obviously what's wrong and all that kind of stuff as always, and then I sat down and then this is my time to kind of this is what I'm thinking and blah 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 and get it all out. And you are right, you sit there and you're like, I can't even play, I can't even do anything. My head's just full.
It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awful feeling, because if you're one of those people who you are, like you say, I'm open about my mental health, but like you kind of feel like when you're in that kind of state, you don't want to talk to people because for me, I felt like I really don't want to pass it on to someone else. I felt really awful. I felt like there was like some times where I am feeling really low and I'm like, I don't really want to talk to anyone about it because I don't want it to affect them.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I get you on that.
Like, I'm not a selfish person. Like, I'm really not. Like, and I always think about other people, even though I'm going through something myself. I think about other people, and and I'm not selfish to myself. It's one of those things that I have, and when I'm feeling low, I don't want people to know that I am, because I don't want. And I don't want to pass it on to them. And if they get upset, it would make me feel worse inside. I'm like, if I'm crying, I don't want to be crying. Okay, like if I'm feeling down, I don't want to pass the mood over. It's once I'm in that mental state where I'm fine. Then I will come and talk to you, and I'll be like, look, had a bit of a rough day, had a bit of a cry and stuff like that, and now I'm fine. So I'm all good. Let's go. But like, I'm not honest straight away. I bottle it in sometimes, and then I keep it to myself, and then it just goes pops off, and I'm like, can't control it.
The thing is, though, this is some of the things I love talking about, because like, it's normal, and I want people
Yeah.
to understand that that is normal. Like you can be so stressed. You can literally bottle everything up. You can have a breakdown like I did. You can have like the whole, everything, and then you can think, oh my god, like this is the worst moment in the world. But everyone who has had mental health issues, and even people that don't think they have, and there's so many people out there with still denial, that stuff's going on. I just want people to know it's normal.
Yeah.
Totally normal, and totally normal to bottle yourself up and to literally just, spend a day, 2 days, a week in your own head and be horrible and then come out and go, I want to talk about it. The hardest thing
Yeah.
is that thing of admitting it and going, right, now I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And just if you just talk about it for 2 seconds and go, these are my issues, we'll talk about it now and that's it, and we'll get back on with it, and maybe it'll come up later, but it's that opening up.
Yeah. It's some reason you're so like stubborn. You're like, I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it. No, no. Like the day that I, cried to my manager, like the first moment I walked in, he was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't want to talk about it."
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
And then, I was getting distracted because I was with colleagues and stuff, and then I was by myself because usually with my job role, I am by myself.
Right. Okay.
I don't work with anybody else,
Yeah.
so I'm fine with that because I have a routine, which I love,
Yeah.
and so I'm constantly doing the same thing each and every day.
Yeah.
But when you're in that mindset and you're on your own, and then your mind is like all these thoughts rushing through your head, and you're like, oh god, no, I can't do this. Like I can't stop. I can't cry on like
Yeah. Yeah.
like in front of
Yeah.
all these people. So I was like, I went upstairs and I was like, to my manager, like, I need to talk about it now. I need to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got upset, but he was just so supportive.
That's good.
It was, which was a real, like, I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
But when I get like that, it scares me because it reminds me back of the times when I worked in care. I'm thinking, is this going to happen all over again?
Yeah.
I'm going to have
Yeah.
panic attacks going into work.
Yeah.
But I know this job is not that like stress, like that anxiety.
Yeah, of course.
It's just, I was just having one of those weeks where it was really stressful. I needed the extra help, which I didn't get.
Yeah.
And, now my managers know that, they messed up.
Yeah.
And I need more support next time. After Easter holidays, I need more support. And now they know, because otherwise Demi's going to bottle up and then pop and cry in front of you, okay? So, yeah.
I love that. And do you know what? And it's really nice to actually hear that there are managers and companies that are actually starting to do a lot more about this. And I so when COVID hit, I was still in retail and found out that the missus was pregnant, which obviously made it even more kind of like panicky about COVID because no one knew anything about it, as in with regards to pregnant women at all. And you're going into work and they're saying, right, so as a company we say you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to start off with. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm wearing a mask. And then obviously customers are being really like weird to you because you're wearing a mask. And then I was having panic attacks, and my manager was not the best, and the company was not the best at it. And that was really hard. And I came back and I got signed off work again because of it all. And it's really hard because if a manager or head office or someone was a little bit more, I don't know, I don't want to say supportive, but a little bit more something,
Definitely.
I wouldn't have needed to be signed off.
No.
It would have been like, right, okay, go have, a breather, a break, or go have this, or if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Or it was just the whole blasé of, and then it was really, then it gets into me. Because I was like, no, this is my problem. I don't want to talk about it to anyone because no one's going to help me, which is then horrible because then that builds up your panic attacks even more.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
it's crazy because obviously we're it's mental health is more open now. Like it's more out there than it's ever been before,
Yeah.
and companies need to, realize that
Yeah,
that there's
definitely.
a lot of people that work under them that do suffer with mental health and may need that support whilst they're at work.
Yeah.
Like, when you go to work, it's not a switch off. Like, I need to
Yeah.
switch off my mental health today.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like,
Yeah.
it comes with me. This is who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
It's with me. This is who I am. Like, I need the support.
Yep.
So yeah, like it's unfortunate, but then in the evenings when you do have that stressful day, you do have your friends that you can come online to and have a little
Exactly.
rant to.
Yes.
And if you have a little cry, you have a little cry.
Yep.
But otherwise, you have your friends there. That's what I love. I love coming home, and I love coming to chill out with my friends.
Yep.
And if I had a stressful day, I have a little rant with them. I'm like, oh my god, this person, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, you go, girl. Like they're just supportive.
Yep.
Like they understand, because, like we all say, everyone who is online has some sort of mental health, and so they can sympathize with you.
Definitely.
And then you're like, they can turn around and be like, hey, you want to play some games? I'm like, yeah, come on, let's play some games. Let's have a laugh. Let's let's have a drink
Exactly.
and let's play a game. And then there you go. There's my night sorted. So.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? That's it, exactly. I say to some of the people, like some of the guys are like, what do you want to play? And I'm like, I just need to shoot people in the face. Like,
Yeah,
I just need to literally get
agreed.
my 10 minutes out of just being aggressive, and then I can just chat and then have a laugh and don't care when I die, and that's it,
That's it. I need to make someone rage quit today.
Exactly,
I need someone to rage quit Siege. Like, I want to pop their head and then them rage quit. That's what I need.
And it
Definitely
is.
not toxic.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
But it is, and I think that's such a good thing about online Discords, and as you say, like when you were doing your VR chat, especially, that these people that were toxic, like the best thing about that is that, and again, you realised and you got out of it, and you could literally turn around and go, well, I don't want to speak to you anymore. I don't need to speak to you anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I always think it's so much easier to do that online, because imagine turning around to someone in real life and saying, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Ooh, that's got to be brutal,
that's the thing. Yeah.
But yeah, online I always think it's so much easier, but then it's, but then with that, people then think it's easy to be toxic because they become keyboard warriors and whatever it is. But yes, but it's seeing that and then actually kind of being the bigger person, and which is obviously quite hard sometimes, but
Yeah.
But
Remove those toxic people out of your life.
Exactly.
Okay, people,
Exactly.
literally. Anyone who's toxic and bringing you down, remove them ASAP, because trust me, it will not help you in the long run. And they may be in the same friendship group and everything, but you got to look out for yourself. You got to think about your mental health, and screw them. Like, if they're gonna be like that, then there's no point of them being in your life. So
Exactly. And I reckon that's a perfect place to end it.
It
really is. Honestly, Demi, thank you so much. Like, seriously,
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so
amazing.
much. And to kind of, as I say, like to kind of play, the podcast to your community, and is more. And I said this to the missus, and I said this to like other people. Like, it's more than I wanted already. And we've only like 8 or whatever episodes in. I can't even remember what it is now. And yeah, to have people like yourself, and obviously the comments and all the all the videos from other people, it's ace. And
You're doing amazing.
Thank you. Like, honestly,
You're literally doing amazing, man. Like, I'm big supporter, so I will keep watching your podcast on my stream. I might watch this one.
Yeah.
Because
should
why not?
definitely
Just
exactly.
watch myself and see how cringy I am. Yeah. Big supporter, man. Big supporter.
Thank you. Honestly, I massively appreciate it. Yeah, obviously that's Demi, everyone. And yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to sign off now. So yeah, appreciate it, Demi. And yes, we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.
So yes, guys, that is that's pretty much our show today. Again, massive thanks to Demi for doing this. Like, really do appreciate it. And it's crazy. Again, I keep saying this, kind of how much traction we're getting from it, and you know, it is sometimes quite difficult for me. Like sometimes doing we've mentioned this before, like doing some of the live shows and some of that, and then you keep looking and go, oh, how many views have I got and how many of that, and that's always quite hard. But I know deep down we're doing something good, and I always say this, I don't want people to feel the way I felt, and I want someone to know that there's help out there, there is something out there are people out there to whatever it is. So yeah, as always guys, thank you. Again, it's going out on YouTube, and if you watched it, it's obviously on Twitch, so you've already watched it, so don't worry about it. And yeah, apart from that guys, yeah, thank you so much as always, and look after your mental health, and we will see you next time.